So Sasha,
Yes.
is there a God? What is your beliefs on religion?
Maybe. I don't know.
What lives in your head rent free?
The
Cheers
boys.
to start.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you for
Welcome everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. Today we have a special guest
Ugh,
called Sasha.
Sexiest guest.
Thank you
We've
guys.
had so far.
Yes.
Definitely top 3.
Definitely top 3 so far.
He's the only one, but I
Third
don't know.
sexiest.
I can't say he's the
guest on
best
the
one.
podcast.
He's also the ugliest, unfortunately.
Of all your guests so far, yeah.
Ugliest and third sexiest.
He's not only a DJ, but he produces his own music. You may know him from
Nothing.
nothing. No.
DJing at the Dale parties.
For the Dale parties.
Yes.
He has his own party event series called
Oh, party hard promotional stuff. Yeah.
that's
right. Forgot about it because everything is closed. For so long.
No, it's pretty sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah. And we have some questions about your sadness coming up as well.
Yeah, with lots.
Lots.
It's actually endless.
We probably deep. I know there's a lot of content there. So to start us off,
segue.
I'm trying to segue here. Don't laugh. We want to know, where did you get started into the music scene? Like, what was your first influences, and how did you get into like
music in general?
Yeah, like really take us back. Yeah. Like, what were your first things you listened
Baby
to?
Sasha.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. I had like this is a kind of weird in a way. I was brought up listening to like my dad's music, which is like a lot of like techno, like old Daft Punk.
No.
Oh my god, I'm gonna blank on some of these guys' names, but like Where's Your Head At? Who's the artist who did that old Where's Your Head At? Basement Jacks or something? Basement Jacks?
I know the name, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but like these old like artists, and then besides that, really hardcore hip hop.
Dope.
For some reason,
Gangster rap.
yeah, like
West
Biggie,
Coast.
yeah, Tupac. So I'm listening to techno and like hip hop
That's
forever.
insane.
It's so weird. It's
That
the
is insane.
strangest mixture.
How does your dad have such good music taste?
It's Pop America. What can you do?
Listening to Daft Punk.
Yeah, and then like with the whole music thing, like I don't know. My dad bought my mom a piano when I was really little, and I just jumped on that thing right away. And I did classical training my whole life until high school, which, as you know, Santi, I had joined a band at the end of high school, and that was like really like creative venture began. I did that for a few years, and then once the band kind of imploded, I was producing during that time, but I wasn't confident in the production. But then only as of recently, as you guys know, I started releasing music. So it's just like years and years of like trial and error, kind of teaching yourself. And you know what, the biggest blessing ever is like having some people around, like House of Panda, for instance, and like other artists that like I can bounce things to, and he gives me like really good notes about like where my mix is at and stuff like that, so I can get to a confidence level where I can release this. It doesn't sound like shit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Having mentors.
Exactly. I feel like he's definitely like a big one for me, but even Faj has done that for me too. Like I've sent Faj's stuff, and he responded back to me, and I really appreciate that, because those guys don't have to obviously do any of that, right? So yeah, that's kind of the Sparks Notes version of that.
How you got into all this,
yeah.
and what were, let's say, like in high school, what were you listening to back then? Has it changed since what you're listening to now?
Oh my god, the edgiest kid in high school, blasting
Evil
Death
face.
Grips.
Oh god.
You know what? In high school, if Anthony Fantano liked it, I liked it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I was
So
like,
you formed your own opinion very well.
yeah, Neutral Milk Hotel, Death Grips,
That's half my music taste.
Swans, ambient white George Penner got me on the white noise.
Just listening to White Noise.
I don't know, it was like, that's like, you have to like get in the mind space where you like, it's so stupid and pretentious.
So you would listen to just White Noise?
It's like, it wasn't just like white, it was like, I don't know, how can you even describe it? It's like if you took like, you know how like, okay, synthesizers have like a wave that you use to make a sound with, but these guys, like, instead of having it be a sine wave or something, it was just like a noise like thing.
Okay.
So like they would have like kicks made out of noise and percussion made out of noise, and noise that would like
dope.
change in pitch. It was really interesting, and that was the whole thing.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah, very industrial, experimental, and that was the whole thing when I was in high school. Is like that abandonment. Like I had to either find the most emotionally challenging music or like literally challenging at the time. Like Death Grips is like a meme now, but like when it all came out, like it was like crazy, right? Because no one heard that kind of stuff before. So that's that's all the stuff I was on. And then once I graduated, I kind of went back to a lot of Gucci Mane and.
That was interesting. I never expect that. Yeah, I always thought you were more into like hip hop or trap going up and like.
I got really pretentious with my music in high school, which is I feel like that's kind of natural. Like that happens to some people.
Yeah. I had the best music taste, so I.
I had no problem with that,
but yeah, no, it was just that. Like I was just trying to figure out like what was the like boundaries, right? So even like stuff like there's a band called the Antlers. They have a album called Hospice.
Yeah.
Like that's a effed up album. Like it's sad. It's a whole album story about a guy who works in a hospice. You know, like where people pass away. Okay. And then the whole thing is paralleling. He fell in love with the girl who's dying there. And at the same time, the story, it's like parallel to his current wife who hates him and abuses him and like is trying to divorce him. And the whole album can make you cry.
It's like, is it realism? Or is he putting on an act?
It's like, it's a like fictional, I think, for sure, but like it's still like right the music and its whole story. Like I've never heard an album like that front to back. Like, really recommend it if you feel like having a good cry. But like that's where
I just listen to Radiohead.
That's why I was so edgy, man. Like high school, it's that, and then like right away from there to like Death Grips. Like,
that's so funny because it's very different from what you were making at that time. In terms of
music. Like Paisley,
like very more pop like,
very pop music,
Yeah, and you guys actually were able to at least land some bigger shows and even like play at like Folk Fest Young Performers. What was that experience like, and what was like kind of getting into the Winnipeg music industry in that sense?
It was, you know what, like doing Festy, doing the Young Performers for Folk Festival, even like Canada Music Week in Toronto, like those so like cool. That feel like it is like you feel like you're you're dipping your toes into what you can potentially get into, right?
Yeah.
As a musician, it was just exciting and reassuring that like, you know, at the time in that environment, like we felt like, yeah, if you push hard enough and you keep working at it, like you're right there, right?
Yeah.
Even like, you know, RIP 441, but even for there, like when I was, I guess you can call it like just interning or whatever. Like they were allowing me to stick around so I can learn from the guys. Like even that felt like a big deal for me because it's just like Panda's there and Paul running with Scissors Music. Like these guys are like, for me, like the best of the best. So like being on there was like a really strong lip, and like the owner, Jack, like he knows all these like crazy big artists, so it just feels really cool when you're like.
Do you think that's like common for the music industry in Winnipeg? It's a lot very uplifting and very communal and like.
Yeah, I mean it for yes and no, because like I really try not to get involved in drama, but of course there's a lot of drama like there is anywhere else. The issue with Winnipeg is it's so small.
Yeah.
So like. I don't know, it's gonna sound so bad, but like with the EDM stuff, everyone's really positive. Like I have yet to even encounter any like bad attitudes or anything like that with people who produce EDM in the city, which is wonderful, right? And like I said, like Panda, Faja, like shouts out to them because like there'd been nothing but like unnecessarily helpful to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for instance, like hip hop, like everyone knows, like. So I'll go record with one guy, go record with the other guy, and they're making comments, and you're just sitting there going like, really, guys, like, off some Winnipeg shit, like, ooh. Yeah. It's all good though. I get it.
I feel like it's a more competitive atmosphere.
It is, and it's the nature of the genre. Yeah, and like with even the pop stuff or the band stuff, it's similar. Like you have drama and people talk which ways, but overall I think it's just who you surround yourself with can make it is overall uplifting. I mean, we all need each other, and even for me, like I have some guys who reach out for production, like rappers and stuff, and they go, how much? And I tell them nothing. Like I don't charge for my production, I don't charge for mixing and mastering. I always go with a split because none of us are really swimming in it, obviously. I mean, so why snub each other? Let's treat this like a partnership and grow together, and like if something blows up, it blows up. That's great. Then we can share in the wealth and then talk business after. But like, why bother with that crap now? Like,
I think that's huge. I think collaboration, especially in the early stages, and lifting each other up is not only important, but definitely something we want to like encourage and continue doing. Like just linking up with the right people can be so inspiring, right? For one, but then also you can actually produce really great stuff. You're like, oh man, this person does this, or like whatever, this person can sing over this track, or whatever it could be. But yeah, like that's definitely something I want to like encourage more, or like somehow facilitate.
Well, you
more.
guys are doing it. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like this the whole Dale thing, and like you guys have my endless support forever and ever, because it's like, not just my personal feelings of being uplifted, but like all when before all the shutdowns, when we were having the parties and you guys were able to host that, even this stuff, like you guys talking about local music, it's like, I love it. I think it's like such a awesome thing to do in the city, and bringing attention to the scene. And I think you guys are freaking awesome for even doing that.
Thank you. We appreciate it. You make it awesome.
I really think everyone can win. Like no one needs to hold each other back. Everyone can win together. No one needs to be a loser.
And it's unnecessary.
It's
Like,
yeah. And if you build right a good community here, you can even if you want to be competitive, be like Winnipeg versus everyone else. Like be that type of mentality, because that'll uplift you more.
More local, yeah.
Because if like if your peers succeed, that's actually going to be a huge benefit for you.
I've had the argument with some artists about that, because a lot of people go to Toronto from here or BC, and this isn't about anybody in particular, because a lot of people have gone, a lot of people haven't, and I've heard that talk happen all the time, and in all facets of music. I'm talking like hip hop, R&B, all these artists from Winnipeg. As soon as you feel like you get to a certain level, you feel like you need to travel, right?
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Like some people are not doing that, and I think like we can grow a really good scene here and put Winnipeg on the map too. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Like I have no desire. Like I mean, in a world where music can be a viable thing to live off of for myself, you know, hopefully. I don't see a point. Like, what would be the big deal? It'd be cool to visit. It'd be cool maybe to have a condo out there if you're rolling in it, right?
Yeah.
But like, Winnipeg is just special. I don't know. It's you don't run into as much egos, I think. You know, and it's something to be said about the big fish, small pond thing too.
Yeah.
Like, I see a lot of like really awesome talent go to Toronto, but you're now like, in my head, you know, people go to Toronto because more opportunity, but you're going to the city that the biggest rap pop star in the world is from.
More competition.
Yeah, and then the biggest R&B artist in the world, like The Weeknd and Drake. Yeah. Like, what in your head? Now you're going to that bar? Like, you're better luck almost going to LA. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
create opportunity where you are. You know?
Exactly, and there's plenty of it.
Yeah, there's a decentralization of media and of music. You don't need to be living in a hub anymore to get opportunities.
Yeah,
You're yourself creating opportunities. Like, in here, right?
Yeah, so you guys are doing it for artists by having podcasts and parties and like we're in like a digital era anyway. Like that's the number one thing I never understood. Yeah. Like when I was in a pen, you know, some guys would laugh if they were hearing this, because they would always talk about tours, and I'd be like, you spend so much money touring, so an ungodly amount of money, and you make nothing. You make nothing. Nobody comes to your shows when you do your first like 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen shows. With,
nobody. and you know what? People. Oh, you just got to do it. You have to have that on your resume if you're gonna play. Like, and I just thought like that's fucking stupid politics. You know what I mean? Like fuck that. Like,
it just looks good to other people when you're applying for like certain. Like,
when I was in the band, we literally had it where someone said we would take you, but you guys haven't toured.
Oh, so people have like some sort of.
I was thinking like
there's a resume bar of like this is what you would have.
But it's like, so what? We didn't sink a few grand
into
playing empty venues. Yeah. Like, I don't get it. But you know what? Whatever. It's like hazing for bands. I don't know.
You haven't gone through enough trauma.
It's emotional, like
for us to take you in.
You need to go. What you need to do is
suffer.
Yeah. Well, but here's in reality, like so many. Fun, even great artists from the city, like guys who are big and they're sunk. Like people are really like if they're doing well, you're in debt, thousands and thousands of dollars, and like why fucking do that? Yeah. Why are you doing it? Stop it.
We need a music financial counselor to go around.
I don't know. I'm so far away from being that, but you know what I'm saying. Like it just doesn't seem necessary.
It's like you get pressured into doing things that you think is gonna be good for you and your music career, even though it's like so kind of far off what really.
Oh, it's silly.
What's important with producers is all because what I see right now is like you can obviously just get big off online, like getting your traction online. But I also am just interested too, like I guess more personal, like how the whole marketing game has changed. Like now you're trying to get on playlists. Yeah. Now you're trying to like do different things. It's dirty, man. Like everything
it's very dirty. There's all kinds of stories. There's some slime balls out there. It's the Wild West. No, you'll talk to
not to dig into it, but just like
it's you literally hit up people and they'll charge you I have a guy. He's like $1,500, and I'll put you on my playlist.
That's
on the
insane.
top 5. Yeah, and I'll only do it for 1 month.
You get crazy.
You get crazy
You get
plays.
people who are untalented who just happen to get a song.
That's
one song in a playlist, and they blow up to 500,000
yeah.
plays.
Well, that's the shit that's crazy. You can literally, in today's world, if you're willing to put that money down, you can get your shit like heard.
Yeah.
And even if you suck,
Yeah.
like if it's ununique,
plays.
people, nobody actually listens to it. It's just because they put that playlist on,
Yeah.
right? And no one will ever save it. No one, that's, to me, paying to get on playlists, which everybody does. I've done it. Everyone, for all, because you want it to be heard.
Yeah.
If you just drop it, no one, your friend's gonna listen to it, and that's it. But the idea is to put it on a playlist so people on the right playlist so people can like it.
Yeah.
Someone listens to it and goes, "Oh fuck, I really like that
Discovers
song,"
you.
right? And likes it, follows your shit. But exactly what you said, like fuck, people can make really bad music,
Yeah.
and just pay to get millions of views, pay
Tons of that.
Instagram followers to get 20,000, and a lot of people pay for their followers and plays.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And your ROI, like on Spotify, it's like you get paid shit. Like for the amount, I think in 2020 I was part of 5 releases. Like I produced 5 songs.
Yeah.
And I'm already on the 2nd next week from today in this year. And like for the total amalgamation, it's like you get nothing back. And then even like distributors can be nasty, because one song that I released with Fresh Prince, shouts out,
Yeah.
Fresh Prince, the distributor hasn't paid us. And it's like you email them and you get like a robot every time. And it's like, that's like for the
no.
200,000 plays.
So you have to contact
few
a
$100.
distributor before getting it on Spotify? How does that work?
Well, it depends. Like I'm unsigned, of course. Like so I
No,
have
we signed you, but yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm signed to Dale.
Real record label.
Praise be to Dale.
Praise be.
But yeah, like you just make an account on any distribution provider. So like I use DistroKid, but there's like a Muse, I think, and United Masters, which you should never use. They don't pay their artists.
Listen up, producers.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure they're fine with everyone else, but damn, give me my money.
You heard it. Dale's coming for you.
Hey,
Dale will smite you.
United Masters.
Send his thugs.
Yes, I need that money to pay for my Ableton. I'm done making fake accounts to get a free trial every 90 days. I am poor.
That's a smart game. Don't knock the hustle.
This last
Free trials.
what was it?
You
The
know
last
how
time,
to produce as cheaply as possible.
last time I hung out with Panda, I'm showing him some stuff, and he goes like, "You're using a trial?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is my 3rd one, man."
Brilliant.
Yeah, just keep making new emails. Fuck it.
Yeah, low key DJ Nork uses just a pirated version, so you gotta do it. Shout, get him. Someone call the feds.
Someone call the feds. FBI.
Wants to know your location.
You gotta find your grind.
Yeah.
I think honestly, so with this being said, what advice would you give to like new up and coming producers, artists, and
shit.
stuff like that? You're still early in your game, but you've gone through many hurdles and seen much. BS.
Probably the biggest thing is like I don't know, like because I'm still working at it, of course.
Yeah.
I think the biggest piece of advice is like, and this goes, I got this from my band days, but it's disassociate your ego from what you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's such a plus if you can take criticism. It's such a plus if you don't like ride your own dick super hard. People do.
Oh, hell
People like share, and again, like
And I think it's tough with art specifically.
It is.
You associate yourself
It's
so
so
much
hard.
with your
It
your
is,
work.
because it is. It's literally
it's you.
Yeah, and like it happened with the band. Like all jokes aside, like that was like my first venture into creative stuff, and like people meme the shit out of the band, and that's okay because it was a big joke also. But yeah, like at the time, like being a kid and you're just trying to like make music and people are shitting on you, like you take it really hard.
Yeah.
But through that process, like nowadays, if I'm hitting up an artist, it's happened. I've hit up rappers I would love to work with. Hey, you want to work together? Yeah, man, send me some beats. And I'll send them like a little file and they'll read it and you just never get a response. Yeah. And it's just like and then I'm listening to the stuff that they're releasing. I'm like, fuck, man, like I know I could do better for you than that. But at the same time, like don't take that way, right? Everything happens for a reason, especially in that music thing. And if you have to force that connection, it's probably not going to work anyway, right?
Exactly. If they don't dig your shit, you find someone who will.
Yeah.
You know? You don't want to work with somebody who doesn't dig your shit.
Exactly.
Like it.
Just that. Like, so disassociate your ego and be humble. Like, put your nose down. There's always so much to learn. Like, I thought, like, when I was releasing the first song, I thought I had mastering and mixing figured out. The second I started making EDM, like house music, and I hung out with Panda more, he showed me how much I didn't know. Like, I don't know shit about, like, mixing and mastering. Wow. It's so much harder for dance music than it is for hip-hop and R&B. And that's just a fact.
Oh, interesting.
It's crazy harder. Like, the balance you need in the mix, the tightness you want to achieve, and, like...
I think that's one of the biggest thing I see from up-and-coming people, that, like, that's one of the keys they're missing a lot of times, is, like, really quality mastering. It's like, oh, that just sounds off, or the bass isn't like strong enough, or like that's
it's huge,
too much, and it's just like
that's a professional sound.
Yeah,
right? And you're so on the money. Like, you have songs that you're like, oh, even if a song is like super basic, if it's mastered and mixed properly, it can still slap really hard. Right?
And it's like, you can have something that's super creative and then make a good track, but it's like not, it just doesn't sound good.
It sounds muddy, it's not loud enough.
Exactly.
It's just weak. It's like some flaccid energy.
There's big name stuff that's dropped that isn't mastered well. You see, like the Travis Scott song with like Astroworld with like Nav, and it sounded like shit. Like, how does that? You have even like millions and millions of dollars going in, tons of people, boardrooms of people, and still ends up. Maybe
it's the sound they wanted. That's the sound maybe they wanted. Who knows?
And that happens sometimes. People, I don't know. Yeah. Hey, what the hell do I know? That's like 18,000 hands in that pot, right? Like, for once you get to that level, it's just. God, like
way too many cooks in the kitchen.
Way too many cooks. Well, you have like a good example is Earthquake, right, by Tyler the Creator.
Love that album.
But it's like the way it's mixed and mastered, it's on purpose to sound like kind of like lo-fi and shitty.
Yeah.
Like, so there you go, right?
Embracing it, just embrace.
But you have to be able to be like Tyler and make amazing music, like he did the album prior, that Flower Boy.
Yeah.
To then go to Igor and like go like, okay, we're doing like almost like. It's his Yeezy almost, right? Like, it's deconstruction. Like, here's your abrasive, like, fuck you, I'm gonna have fun with
it. It's
like
one. Purposeful, though. You gotta like learn the rules and then break them.
Yes,
like, he knew the fundamentals.
Just don't be shit, right?
Yeah, just don't be garbage. Just don't be garbage.
Don't be garbage. So that's my advice.
Just sends that out to all new artists. Don't be trash.
Don't be trash.
Don't suck.
Just don't suck. It's
get
not
good.
Hard. It's not hard.
Get good. Just basically get good.
This man's making ASAP Ferg new disco. Right?
Yeah. If you want to be good in producing, buy all your Spotify views, buy all your Instagram followers.
That's the recommendation.
That's how you make good music.
Pre-record all of your DJ sets and just hit play and touch the filter knobs. And you're good.
Yeah, no, we wish you did that, but...
it would probably sound a lot better.
You're kidding. No, you've been putting
the
fire.
It was this last stream. I had like a moment where I was sitting because you got every mixer is like that you use is different. So I have like a controller at home, and then I'm really used to like the 4-channel mixer from 441.
Oh, that's nice.
And like the day before our stream that we did, like the jam one, Jungle Jams, I was using that 4-channel the day before.
Oh, nice.
So, and CDJs. So I come here and now I'm using the 2-channel mixer, and all the little everything's slightly off place, and it's off enough that it slightly fucks with you. And then I was like DJing that night. I'm like, oh my god, I'm having a problem.
Like, honestly, that's what I find too. It's like anytime I'm super new to DJing, but anytime I go on to new stuff. It like half of it is like either troubleshooting or like like figuring out the new equipment and just like adapting to your new environment, and just making things work, and then like the other half is like, okay, actually, mixing well, etc.
You just need a few drinks. That's basically
we don't know the fundamentals too. Like, I had 10 minutes on those CDJs, and then like I fucked up a couple times, and I just couldn't recover. I guess I just needed more logistical knowledge.
CDs, like that's a huge thing though, and like I mean. Talking about uplifting, like fucking going full circle, like when Santi knows this, like a year and a half ago I began DJing, and it was like a 4-hour hip-hop set, just
fire.
Just straight fire. Flock of Flame.
Flock of Flame.
Mane.
Just trap
vibe.
It was a vibe at the hub at the U of M. Like I just made like the party hard thing. It was so citizen.
The hub to citizen.
No one got shot though.
I love those sets.
It's a good
but
set.
it was like I literally was like, nobody makes like hard trap. Like I was just watching Kenny Beats do a Boiler Room and I'm like, I need to do this.
I don't know Kenny Beats, but I love Boiler Room.
You know Loud Pack?
Mafia?
No.
Okay, he was Loud Pack before he was Kenny Beats.
He was like JPEG Mafia.
And he does like hip hop on Boiler Room?
Yeah. Well, Kenny, so he always produced like I think hip hop and everything. Okay, you know what? I don't even have to explain this. Just when we're done, you're gonna go watch The Cave on YouTube.
His podcasts,
his Twitch streams, his series on YouTube. It's so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so good. I even forgot what I was starting to talk about.
Is this what talking about bringing like trap music, your first set, your hip hop set?
Right. So uplifting things and CDJs and stuff. So I was using this little Hercules controller that was 10 years old. Like, you remember how it looked? This little shitty gray box.
I don't really remember how it looked, but I can imagine.
Okay, it was terrible, and like that. It was like a okay like turnout though for that night, and everyone had a great time.
Yeah, it was a good vibe.
And yeah, exactly. So I somehow gathered the balls to just like email 441 and just be like, I want to throw a party at your club. Please talk to me. And I got an email back going, sure, come at this time. You'll need to talk to Jack.
Yeah.
And funny thing, nobody told Jack I was coming that day. And like, it's like a Saturday night before opening. Security is just like chilling outside before. And I'm like standing there and like nicely dressed, like, and the guys are looking at me like, you know what the fuck? It's 8 p.m., dude. The club isn't fucking open yet. Like,
I wasn't ready for all the girls I get to meet tonight. My mom said I should go here.
I'm single and ready to mingle. No,
little bow tie.
I had just a connection because of another. I think he was a manager. He was also one of the owners. I think Clayton.
Yeah.
And I knew him because I had like my previous birthdays and I went to 441, and Clayton's just a really good dude. Like there was one of the promoters there fucked up my booking, my booth, and like I had a 20 group of people and they gave us a tiny booth upstairs by accident.
Yeah.
And it was like, and Clayton just like fucking pulled clutch and made it all worth it. So amazing guy. And like we kind of had a contact there, and that's how I got to meet Jack. And I go in there and Jack's like, yeah, come by. And then I bought my controller. So I moved on to that, got really used to that. And then Jack, after that show, goes, hey, listen, you could come hang out, but don't bring that shit anymore. You're going to come early if you want, and you're going to learn how to do CDJs. And that's like, really, like, he's like, get that little, like, dinky shit out of here. Like, you're going to learn how to DJ for real on some, like, CDJs and that 4-channel mixer. And, like, there you go. It took me, like, 2 months of coming like an hour and a half before open to 441 of like just, but at the time too, I DJ'd with a set every single time I DJ'd. But like again, Jack, Panda, Running with Scissors, like all of them were like, you need to learn no sets. And ever since then, like I never DJ with a set. It never happens. It's always, all of it, always.
That's where the real creativity flows, right?
It's right.
Yeah. If you go into like with an idea, you're just gonna end up getting boring.
It is, and you know what? Like you can it for the party hard stuff. It really worked for the first two things because it was advertised as such, right? Like the first one was straight hip hop. The second one was like, this is gonna be a fucking hardcore party. Like we're gonna play dubstep. I know, for instance, DJ Nork would love to be there because he loves dubstep so much. He loves dubstep.
I did not know.
DJ Nork's favorite genre is both trap
and dubstep,
and his favorite artist is Pop Smoke.
Can you like?
He says he looks up to Pop Smoke.
Can Pop Smoke do a trance track? I really like that.
It'd be great.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Of course. Respect the woo.
Pop Smoke trance.
Pop Smoke trance.
Yeah, there's your next gig.
I was gonna say, don't fucking
new disco.
I already have to make your guys' fucking intro to this podcast.
Bro, can we use that as our intro? That's so dope.
Holy shit.
That's what I want to make.
I'll have to hit up Faja for help because I don't know how to make trance, but that guy makes trance like it's no one's business.
He's made some hip hop trance, Faja. That's like really
has he? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Faja's incredible.
Mo Bamba. He made a remix of
Mo Bamba trance
remix.
Like that actually slapped.
Where
it was really
Where
good.
Is this on SoundCloud?
It's on YouTube, I think, and it might also be on
SoundCloud. Hey, Faja, remixing hip hop stay in your lane, man. Mine.
It's genre. And you did it first.
I did the ASAP Ferg disco remix. You're taking everything I worked for.
So good.
Okay. It's so supportive and positive.
No, I'm joking.
Uplifting community. Just
Yeah, no. Bring the.
Can't make music. I make music.
I'm joking. Don't make it sound like I'm sincere.
No one else can make new disco trap.
No. My lane.
No, it's your lane. It's like an actual explosion of new disco trap after this.
Oh, jeez.
I hope so.
All competition.
Fuck.
It'd be dope, though.
You should definitely release that. That's for sure. So
Yeah,
people can
I
check it out.
actually
I'll be like,
really
go
like
check
it.
out
I'm
his
so
track.
butthurt.
Yeah.
You know, I've been like working like the last 3 months on like a real like remix of that track. That like I'm trying so hard to make like a big room, kind of trappy, dubsteppy, like club banger. I work 4 days on a fucking house song remix of it, and that's all anyone who talks to me.
Say about it.
And I am like high key upset about it.
Good.
Stop putting so much effort.
You're not making good music.
Just stop putting so much effort into music. The key is to just shit out music.
As much as you can.
I have to be the student.
Gary Vee says a song a day.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation to you.
Is that the asshole who like? Guys, just gotta stop overthinking things. Spend money, invest, divest.
I don't think he says any of those things, but overthinking, yes.
That's like
We're big Gary Vee fans here. You can't say bad
Actually,
things.
are you?
I'm a pretty big Gary Vee fan.
You can't say
But
anything bad,
I see
we
the
hate you.
criticism. I see the criticism of him. But
Maybe it's not
he's
him.
up
I mean,
there
God
thing.
bless him because he's a successful person, which is awesome. I think it's just like the people surrounding him and who keep sharing his shit. It just drives me crazy. Every time I go on Instagram and I see something related to stocks, I want to kill somebody. like
Wait, you haven't invested in GameStop yet, bro? What do you? Have you not seen Elon Musk's
missing the wave.
tweets?
You're missing the
Bro,
wave, man.
Doge,
Take a
Doge,
dip right
bro.
now, but it's gonna sky to
You
the
know
moon.
what? I
to
hope
the
the
moon.
current takes me out and drowns me. And I never make it back to shore. No, I mean,
Ride that wave.
this isn't a sub at anyone in particular, but like, you know, I'm tapping through and I'm seeing this financial shit, and Gary's one of those guys that people share, and like people like why Gary upsets me is like you have like people who don't have a lot of money and are taking this really hard, damaging their life because he's like Casey Neistat in the way that like they sell this like just go for it, man, and like that's really fucking easy to say when you're a millionaire.
Yeah, when you've already made it.
Yeah,
Hindsight's
and you have like
20/20,
these
bro.
gullible
Like,
people who are vulnerable and don't have that money. I'm sure that there is of course a lot to learn from them. Like, but people are fucking stupid, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows people suck and are idiots.
Well, you
So,
can interpret everything in different ways.
Yeah,
right? You can think any good quote can be interpreted to do something bad.
Yeah.
So it's just it obviously is like
Stop sharing financial advice on Instagram.
take all your financial advice from Instagram.
It makes me
stories.
unless you are rich like Gary.
Yeah.
Don't do it. If you're still driving your 2001 Honda Civic and you're sharing stock trading tips, stop. It's not working.
You heard it here first.
If you're rolling in it and you're sharing it, it clearly works.
Yeah, exactly.
But most of you are not like that.
No,
That
no.
makes
It's
sense.
easy to be like high risk, high reward when you got things easy and you're like middle class white suburban.
Yeah.
But like when you have people who are like literally struggling to like every paycheck to possibly be homeless.
Yes.
Maybe they shouldn't be taking high risk investments.
I'm gonna buy a Canon and a boosted board and start vlogging.
And then make millions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
Crash, fall on the road, and
Just
get
do
run
some
over.
TikTok dances, guys. You're not doing enough TikTok dances. That's why you're poor.
Are you guys are on TikTok, right?
We are on TikTok.
Yeah,
Follow
we are.
all
Are
you
you
guys
guys
on
on-
TikTok.
Are you guys personally on TikTok?
Yes, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's
Infrequently.
only like.
There's some fire on there.
You
not
can
gonna
follow
lie.
On TikTok?
Always Dale
I actually
TikTok.
love TikTok.
TikTok-
Actually. There's some fire on there.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is.
There's some like good ass humor to be found on there, but then
some
like the
hilarious
other
shit.
half of it, it's just like thirst traps.
Oh, so much. That's right.
A lot of thirst trapping, and it's like, why are they just watch porn? What do you?
But
What? I'm just
it builds
go first.
toward, the algorithm builds towards what you like. So
Yeah.
it's like at first, I found it was just booty shaking on my timeline. That's all it was. But then as like my friends started selling me
a man of
comedy stuff,
clearly a man of taste.
it tastes so just booty shaking.
Yeah.
What do you think about the influence of
good, it's good
TikTok
stuff.
on music in general? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
yeah, it's
making
huge
things
deal.
take off and not take
Dude,
off.
like I am the
do you
last
send your music to
person-
TikTokers?
It's all my music's on TikTok, by the way. you can make like TikToks with my music because that's part of distribution. You can send it to all these platforms.
You upload it to that's
yeah. That's why it's like everything's on Instagram too.
Can I do some TikTok dances to your stuff? Can I booty shake to some like new disco track?
I don't think we need his permission. He's signed to our label. We're good. Everything's cleared.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like, that's one thing I'm very bad at, and I have to learn to get good at, and I'm trying to learn more of.
Yeah,
it's the branding and
the
marketing and holy fuck, do I understand what a label is good for nowadays? Like because those guys supposedly take care of that stuff for you, right?
Yeah.
Though I'm pretty naive, they might not. But that's why I imagine, right? You get to focus on making your music, and that's what always was for me. And that's the tough part, is like learning to traverse the modern space. Like, and then what's that new one that's out now? The new social media platform. Clubhouse?
Clubhouse, yeah.
Like what the fuck is that?
You can't even get an invite right now. I tried. It's really prestigious. It sounds amazing though. I was talking to Josh about it. He didn't seem to like it, but
it's not on Android yet. So
it's just the idea you can create like rooms that's like dedicated to like conversations, and you can have like tons of different people come in, and they all can converse on that like subject. And it's kind of like an open forum podcast that never stops.
Yeah, but there's
like
a
radio station meets podcast. It's a meeting room. You just have conversations.
That seems susceptible to fuckery.
It does, but as an idea, I definitely think we're moving towards like podcasts and like decentralization of media towards where people care more about realism and each other and conversation, as opposed to like celebrity and like putting people on high horses.
Joe
I just
Rogan.
want to hear what people have to say. I want ideas. I want information.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's really what wins. It's not people. It's not. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
What Katy Perry has to say.
No. Nobody.
I want to know what people have to say. What are people thinking? What are the average people thinking?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I want to know.
Or like just the best ideas in general, and just like different ideas and like unique perspectives.
Yeah.
Is always good to touch on.
I think this is a great place to wrap it. I gotta take off. So
that makes sense.
This was really fun.
Yeah, I think a lot of good stories.
We hope to have you back at some point.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully you do well and you get that collab with A$AP Ferg.
Yeah, we just want you to succeed. We want to see you at the
Please,
top.
A$AP Ferg.
You can find.
We just want to meet A$AP Ferg.
You'll never remember me, but I was doing First Date at Full Flex when you performed. I had a picture with you.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that picture.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
I'm in my First Date uniform.
You're like, wow, he's living his best life here.
I got a thumbs up from Diplo that night.
Wow, that's a big deal.
They were walking. There was like Jack Hughes thing.
Yeah, they
and
were
like
fantastic.
Skrillex went on stage on his hoverboard.
I can't believe I missed that.
It was really good.
That whole night was
awesome.
I've heard
fucking
amazing
mental.
things in terms of legendary nights in the city.
It's nice.
Even Ferg's like perform. Like I've never seen
I
it.
love
The crowd was like jumping so much. It was like a wave.
It was crazy. It was a really good show. But yeah, you can find all of Sasha's stuff on Spotify and Apple Music.
Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you so much, Sasha.
We
love you. We love you. And you.
It is so hot in here.
Oh, how can they find you? Where else can they find you?
Yeah,
Put in some plugs.
My address is.
Give him your credit card number.
You can just on Instagram is probably the best spot. Saša Music with a underscore, and it's
how do you spell it?
Sasa. It's Sasa Music.
Sasa.
Sriracha Music.
Sasa. Salsa music. Salad music.
These should all be your ad libs when you play.
Sasa. Instead of an air horn.
Yeah.
Sasa. This is an ending. I don't know. I thought
I gotta cut it.
We gotta cut it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for tuning in. See you on the next one.
Smooches.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.